Let's read it together. What do we think, Tishka? And an 8-inch. My interest is definitely piqued. Are you confused? Maybe he thinks all fours means that it's about dogs. All right, let's bring in the cutie pie. Come here, baby. Oh, Tishka. Hello, my baby. Hello. Hey, book friends. It's Caitlin and Tishka here from Spill the Reads. And today I'm going to be choosing my July TBR in a unique way. As you can see, we're surrounded by dog toys. And when you look at my Libby, you'll see that I'm also surrounded by library loans that are quickly expiring, and I needed some help choosing what to read. So thankfully, I was actually just tagged in something called the Quick to Judge Challenge. My friend Kim Reads and Reviews just tagged me in this, and I realized that it's like the perfect timing because this is going to help me choose what I'm going to read this month. And I wanted to give Tishka a chance to help me pick these books because there was a book that I read last month where a dog met quite a violent end, and I think Tishka's kind of mad at me about it.
Bitch.
So I'm gonna let him help me choose by symbolizing like dog toys for different books. So let's try to get into this. So let's talk about how this challenge is going to work. Basically, you will read the first paragraph of a book that you have, and then you'll kind of like judge it off of that first paragraph, how you feel about the writing, and then you'll rank like which one sounds more interesting to less interesting, and that's how you'll choose what to read. So let's go ahead and get started. The first book that I'll talk about, also some of these are kind of like dog themed, so that's why I just felt like this was a good time to try something kind of creative like this. The first book is called 15 Dogs by André, Alexis. This is a book rec I got from Lawrence Debs. I'll link his channel. And apparently this is a book about giving dogs human intelligence and trying to see like if they would be happy or not. And so the Greek gods Apollo and is it Hermes? They give human intelligence to a group of dogs at some kind of animal clinic, and then they try to they watch and see which dogs like react in different ways to human intelligence. And apparently, like some dogs just totally reject this, and other dogs like it. Like there's a dog that becomes like a poet. Anyway, it sounds pretty interesting to me. So let's go ahead and read the first paragraph. One evening in Toronto, the gods Apollo and Hermes were at the Wheat Sheaf Tavern. Apollo had allowed his beard to grow until it reached his clavicle. Hermes, more fastidious, was clean-shaven, but his clothes were distinctly terrestrial. Black jeans, a black leather jacket, a blue shirt. So, I mean, I feel a little bit confused, but I guess like slightly intrigued. We'll see how it measures up to the other ones. And let's see what Tishka thinks. How about we signify that book with this ball? Tishka, what do you think? Are you interested? Whoop. Yeah, Tishka doesn't seem super interested. I don't know. Another book that I'm interested in is called Walking Practice by Dolki. And this is about an alien who crash lands on Earth and has to feed. And so they start eating humans and like apparently shape shifting into like what they think that their prey would be attracted to. And so they use like dating apps, and then I'm imagining they go on dates and end up like eating them. So it sounds really weird. The Ellen Made Book Club heard about this book and asked me if I have read it. She thought that I would like it, and that just warmed my little bookish heart. So I'm curious. let's go ahead and read the first paragraph. I think this is a Korean book. I imagine it's translated. The cover is very, very cool. I'm into that for sure. What do you think, Tishka? Also, since it's about shape shifting, this toy is kind of like a shape shifting toy. It's like a dog and a bone. What do you think? All right, let's let him play with that while we read the first paragraph. I'm off to work early. This isn't a regular occurrence. It's out of necessity today because he says his house is only empty in the morning. He has too many choice qualities for me to let him slip through my fingers. And by qualities, I of course mean physical ones. I don't know what kind of human he is, what he likes to eat, his favorite color, the kind of music he's into these days. None of these interest me. We've simply engaged a few words in a chat room and made a date. A fairly good looking 27-year-old male, height 173 centimeters, weight 65 kilograms, and an 8-inch. That's all I know. Oh, and one more thing. He lives at the top of a 16-story apartment building. Okay, my interest is definitely peaked. This sounds uh, just strange and demented and kind of funny, so I'm actually quite interested. Thank you, Ellen, for bringing this book to my attention. Tishka, what did you think of that? Mild interest? Okay, so we'll see. All right, let's see what else we have. The next book that I have on my TBR is an older one. It's called Watchers by Dean Koontz. This is one that I got, a recommendation I got from my friend, the Reading Retriever, when she actually did my BookTube pet tag. And one of the questions was like, what are some books that you like because of the pet? And she has a retriever named Tucker. And so anyway, she talked about this book and it piqued my interest. I think it's about golden retrievers that it's like sci-fi. I think they give them human intelligence. I'm not really sure what it's like beyond that. Apparently, this guy goes into the mountains and he runs into this golden retriever that's like, "Oh, you shall not pass," and I don't know, he stumbles into this kind of like dark creation. So I am intrigued. Let's see what the first paragraph entails. Oh, and let's see what toy would that symbolize? I don't know. How about this one, Tishka? Tishka likes this toy. Chapter 1. On his 36th birthday, May 18th, Travis Cornell rose at 5 o'clock in the morning. He dressed in sturdy hiking boots, jeans, and a long sleeve blue plaid cotton shirt. He drove his pickup south from his home in Santa Barbara all the way to rural Santiago Canyon on the eastern edge of Orange County, south of Los Angeles. He took only a package of Oreo cookies, a large canteen full of orange-flavored Kool-Aid, and a fully loaded Smith & Wesson 38 Chief Special. So, very mild interest. However, this seems to take place where I am from, like the region I'm from. So I'm kind of interested, and I also feel like if I read this, I can probably talk about it like with my parents because I imagine that they have read this author. I don't know. So we'll see. That could be interesting. What do you think, Tishka? You love this toy, so that's kind of an easy one. You're interested. Should we give you human intelligence? What would you do? Hmm. A book that I'm really interested in is Aftertaste by Daria Lavelle. This is supposed to be about someone who he can't see ghosts, but he can taste like their favorite food, and he ends up using this to like reunite people with their loved ones who have passed away. It's supposed to take place like in the New York culinary scene, and I believe there's also some kind of romance in there. It sounds very interesting. I heard about this from Brett's Bookstack. So let's see. I think we can symbolize this one with a duck because that is a food that Tishka would probably like. Let's read the first paragraph. Are you confused? Here we go. Aftertaste. The first time Konstantin Duhovny tasted something he hadn't actually eaten, he was 11, seated on the edge of the public pool in Brighton Beach, his heels churning gray water into foam. Okay, so I'm gathering that he is like a Russian American, because I know Brighton Beach is like a Russian stronghold in, was it New York? And I am kind of interested, like that's kind of giving me some intrigue, but it's not a very long paragraph, so I don't know. I'm already really interested in this book, though, just from knowing the synopsis. What do you think, Tishka? Hmm? Up next, I have Pet by Catherine Chidgey. I heard about this from the Ellen Made Book Club. She was like raving about this book. I think she gave it 5 stars. I think it's about like a teacher's pet, but it's like a thriller. And I know that it takes place in New Zealand in the 1980s. So I am already kind of intrigued, but I don't really know more than that. Let's see, which dog toy should we compare this to? I guess like teacher's pet makes me think of like an apple. So we could say this one is like the teacher's pet. Oh, it doesn't actually squeeze. Tishka! Whoop! Go get it. Oh, Tishka is interested. All right, let's read the first paragraph. Let's read it together. I know it's Mrs. Price, and I know it can't be Mrs. Price. That's what I keep thinking. My eyes are playing tricks on me, or the light is, or my memory is. For one thing, this woman looks to be in her 30s, which makes her far too young, apart from anything else. And yet, she has the same wavy blonde hair, the same high cheekbones, even in the voice. Even the voice could be hers. What do we think, Tishka? Minimal intrigue, I guess? It's so hard to know. It's much easier to base like your interest for a book off of like the synopsis rather than the opening paragraph. So, yeah. The next book I will be judging is Holiday Country by Inci Atrek. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is a book about like a Turkish American girl who goes to Turkey in the summertime with her mom, who's originally from there, and I guess they go there every summer. And it seems like she doesn't really want to be there, but apparently, like her mom meets this man, and I have a feeling that they both are interested in the same man, which seems like it could be kind of weird and kind of interesting and reminds me of another book I read called Very Nice by Marcy Dermansky. My friend Michelle, I'll link her channel. She's been raving about this book, and I really want to read it so like we can talk about it because I feel like it could be interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first paragraph. Also, I just want something kind of summary because I feel like haven't read anything super summary yet, and we are in July right now. Holiday country. Okay. Ishka, which toy? This could be like a beach toy. What do you think? The small club. A man stands at the top of the ladder, blocking my way out from the sea. You must be Meltem's daughter, he says. He places a hand on each side of the rail and leans in toward me. In fact, I'm sure of it. I can tell by the way you swim. It's mid-July, and even though I have never seen this man before, I can tell that he's spent long days in places of summer. His irises are too bright for such naturally dark features. His beard is coarse with salt, and his unkempt hair curls under his ears and traces just for a moment his jawline. Around his neck is a shark tooth on a leather string, an interesting choice of accessory, a child's accessory for someone my father's age. What do you think? I'm actually like lightly intrigued, maybe more so than the other ones. I think because I also want to be in this place. Like I would very much like to be on a beautiful Turkish beach. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Sounds like it could be good. I like the writing. The last book that I will dive into is All Fours by Miranda July, which I feel like I've been kind of like dancing around ever since I saw the movie Baby Girl and I heard about this book and it's like cult following. So it's available now on Libby. I know that this is supposed to be about a woman who has some kind of like midlife crisis, sexual awakening, and people seem to really love it or hate it. I don't know how I'll react to it, but I've been curious about it. Here we go, Tishka. Let's symbolize that with this toy. Tishka! All right, he's biting. Let's see. Hey, guess what? I totally messed up. I accidentally read the first paragraph of chapter 15 because uh, I was reading on a library card that my friend also uses, and I guess she is ahead of me. So I'm going to read the first paragraph of chapter 1 now. Here we go. Sorry to trouble you was how the note began, which is such a great opener. Please, trouble me, trouble me. I've been waiting my whole life to be troubled by a note like this. Okay, starting pretty good. Sorry to trouble you, but it looked like someone was using a telephoto lens to take pictures through your windows from the street. If it was someone you know, then sorry for the misunderstanding. If not, though, I got the make, model, license of their vehicle. Brian from next door and his phone number. Okay, that sounds pretty interesting. I like the vibe. We're really getting thrown into the story. Um, I feel like Tishka would think that all fours meant that this was a book about dogs, but I don't imagine there will be any dogs here. So sorry for messing up the challenge. Let's get back to the ranking. I've had a little think. It's also worth mentioning that some of these have really long wait times. Other ones seem to be available all the time, so I've also kind of kept that in mind. Funny enough, the one that I'm most interested in based off the first paragraph is probably walking practice, with the people eating alien. So thank you, Ellen. Number 2, I'm really interested in Aftertaste, the one about the guy that can taste what dead people like to eat. I don't know. That sounds intriguing. Number 3, Holiday Country. Number 4, 15 Dogs. 5, Pet. 6, All Fours. And 7, Watchers. So yeah, we will see. The other books that I have for July that I have to read, not have to, that I want to read. I'm doing a buddy read of a sci-fi novel called Death of the Author with Curious Cat. So I just started. I'm like 6 chapters in. And what else? Oh, I also have an arc that I need to finish and review in the next week. So yeah, that's what I have going on this July in terms of reading. Thank you so much to Kim for tagging me in this. That was really interesting to like try to kind of fight between what you think a book is going to be about versus like what the author decides to use as like their hook, and what seemed to hook me and what seemed to like not really hook me. So thank you for doing this. I'll try to tag some other people to do the same thing. And Tishka and I will keep you guys updated on these books. Let me know if you've read any of them or which ones sound interesting to you. And thanks for watching. Bye. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk.